Hey everybody, it's Lon Seidman. We've got another unboxing. I picked up the Xbox Series S the other day, and I thought I would open it up here and also talk about the differences between the Series S and X, because I know a lot of people might be shopping for one of these as a gift, and you probably need to know what the big differences are here so you don't disappoint the recipient. Now, I do want to let you know before we unbox this that I paid for it with my own funds. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one is paying for this unboxing, nor has anyone reviewed or approved what you're about to see before it was uploaded. So let's get into it now and unbox this. But first, let's take a look at what the differences are between the Xbox Series X and the Series S, because Microsoft manufactures two different game consoles right now. Now, the Series X, of course, is the top-of-the-line unit, and the biggest difference that it has over the X, beyond having more horsepower, is that it has an optical drive, and the Series S here does not. And that lack of an optical drive means that you won't be able to use physical discs that you purchase at the store with this one. And because the Xbox game library is so extensive and goes now across almost 20 years, all of those old backwards compatible games that you could pop into the Series X to play are not going to work on the S because it lacks the optical drive. So if you have a pretty big games library, my advice would be to go for the Series X so you can play those games. But if you've got a lot of games that you've purchased digitally, or you plan to really dive into the Xbox Game Pass service, the Series S is going to do well with that. But just remember, there are no physical games that you can play on this console, at least at the moment. Additionally, the Series S has less onboard storage, but there is an upgrade path. So you have 512 gigabytes on the S and a full terabyte on the X. And then, of course, the Series S is a lower powered device, so its max gaming resolution is 1440p, whereas the Series X can play games at a full 4K resolution. So if you have an older 1080p set, the X might be overkill because this one will run those games pretty nicely, even at high frame rates at 1080p. And that's really all you need on a 1080p television set. But if you've got a nice 4K television, the Series X might be the better way to go because it can take full advantage of the resolution that your TV offers. Now, as far as media playback is concerned, the Series S here will do 4K media, and we're going to be doing a video on its media playback capabilities in a little bit. And so if you are watching Disney Plus or Netflix or any of the other streaming services out there, this will support 4K video along with all the HDR modes, even though it can't play games at a 4K resolution. It can definitely play back the movies that you might want to watch at 4K. But again, this lacks an optical drive, so if you had a 4K Blu-ray movie, that of course will not play on here. All right, so let's get to the unboxing here. We're going to peel the sticker off the bottom and get into it, and we'll take a look at some of the physical attributes of the product here as we go. I just tore off a portion of the lower end of the box there, so hopefully this is not a collector's item a few years down the road. And when you pull off the tape here, so goes your box here, as you can see, unfortunately. And then we'll get the other one here as well. The good thing is I don't need a knife to get it open, so I guess that's one benefit. And here we go. So this actually reminds me a lot of the process of opening the Series X that I did about a year or so ago. So you've got your Power Your Dreams here. This is a considerably smaller console than the X. It's like half the size of it. And let's take it out of the packaging here, and we'll have a look-see at what it's all about. So pretty hefty, actually. It's got a good weight to it. And you can position this in two ways like you can with the X, which is, let me move the box out of the way here for a second. You can have it sit flat here, but you can also have it stand up because it has rubber feet on the side and on the bottom. You do want to keep all of the vents here clear because there will be a cooling fan running, although if the Series X is any indicator, I would imagine this will be pretty quiet in operation, and we'll cover that when I do my next video on the console here. So let's take a look at the ports here on the back. You've got your gigabit Ethernet here for plugging it into your network. There are two USB 3 ports here. Now you can plug in external USB hard drives into your Xbox to store games. Just note though that many, but not all, of the newer games that are designed for the X and S will not play off of USB storage, but all the older ones do. So if you're downloading 360 games, for example, from Game Pass or from your digital library, you can run those games off of USB storage. But the newer Series S and X games generally have to be played off the internal storage, or you can use their storage expansion here. Seagate makes these storage devices that are much faster than USB that can be plugged into this expansion port here. And this expansion port is also on the Series X. So it's good that they do give you a storage expansion path here on the lower end console. And then of course you have your HDMI out and your power connector. So everything is in the back here. There's no power brick. The power supply is built right in. So it's pretty clean, and it will, I think, look pretty nicely on a TV stand or media center thing or whatever. One other thing I found interesting on the back here is that they have, it's not quite braille, but they have these little bumps. I don't know if I can get a better view of them here. They have these little bumps under each of the plugs, so you can kind of feel around as to what each plug is. So the 2-bump thing here is for the network. There are 3 bumps beneath both of the USB ports. You have a longer one here for the HDMI output, and 4 for the storage expansion, and 1 for power. Pretty clever, and a good way to feel around in the back if you have to plug in something or unplug it. On the front, we have another USB port, and then you've got this button, which I believe is to pair up your game controller. All right, let's get the box back up on the desk here and see what else we get inside of it. So we'll go to my overhead view here. And additionally, we've got a little guide here for setting up, and you can use your smartphone to get going, which makes it a little bit easier than having to type a bunch of stuff in with the game controller. And then we've got our HDMI cable in the box. Now, one thing that I noticed with this is that this one comes with a high-speed cable, which I believe should be fine for 4K. But if you wanted to play 8K video, you need the ultra high-speed cable, which the Series X comes with, but this one does not. So if you are one of the few folks that might be playing around with 8K, you might need that. But I think most people playing 8K stuff will likely go with a Series X for the super high end there. This is my US power cable. And then you get a game controller matched to the color of your console, just one. Back in my day, we used to get 2 controllers with our game consoles, but not anymore. So here's your Xbox Series S controller. And this is the same controller you'll get with the Series X, but it is white and not black like it was on the X that we unboxed last year. And then we have some batteries for the controller as well. And those go into the battery door here. And you can also use a special rechargeable battery that Microsoft sells optionally. So there you go. So that is the unboxing. And stay tuned, because we're going to be taking a look at the media playback capabilities of this console in a little bit. And I'm eager to get this thing set up and start playing with that. So stay tuned. More to come on the Series S. And until next time, this is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching.
This channel is brought to you by the Lon.TV supporters, including gold level supporters Brian Parker, Chris Allegretta, Hot Sauce and Video Games, Logic KGR, Tom Albrecht, and Amda Brown. If you want to help the channel, you can by contributing as little as $1 a month. Head over to lon.tv/support to learn more. And don't forget to subscribe. Visit lon.tv/s.